Hey everyone, welcome back to Tuckaway Pines. Today we are down in the grow station because it is that time of year, everyone. That time to start gathering our seedling start supplies, getting our seeds ready, figuring out what we're going to grow, and getting that game plan together. And today I want to show you what I'm going to be using. You can kind of see my setup a little bit here, but then also I want to talk more about our game plan as well. So stay tuned. Okay, so this is my grow station. Last year I did film a video where Corey and I set up our little shelves and stuff like that. And actually I did kind of like a not official review video on these grow lights that I have here. They are a Barina is the brand, but I am very pleased with them. In a nutshell, I don't want to go too far into it. If you guys are really curious about these grow lights, go watch that video. I'll have it tagged up above for you guys, but or linked in the description. But yeah, these grow lights, very happy with them. Very durable, at least for the whole year that I've had them, the whole growing season. And I've actually had these going all winter long to keep a lot of these plants going. So really a full year's worth of use, and just the way they set up is super easy. They come with a lot of the hardware, all that fun stuff. So really pleased with them. Actually so pleased I have another order placed for a whole nother set of these because I need some more. So really happy with that. So again, if you are curious about these, the Barina grow lights, go check out that video. Otherwise, I have the link in the description of where I got them. I got them off Amazon, so I'll leave my affiliate link down below there. But anyway, so yeah, I mentioned before they come with all the hardware, which it's true they do, but this year I went and got some chain, just some small, like, you know, flower pot holder chain, just a really thin chain. That way I can adjust the height of these lights, because last year I didn't. I had them stationary to the bottom of these shelves, and my plants got really leggy. So that's something I noted from last season, something I want to change for this season. So we'll see if that makes any difference. I think it will, most definitely. So I have that. That's the one thing, if you do get these lights, is, and if you are going to go with the adjustable option, just go ahead and get some small chain like that right off the bat. That way you're all set, because it doesn't come with that, unfortunately. But it comes with all the brackets and stuff. But anyway, I have my little station set up. I actually did kind of some rearranging, moved a lot of these plants around and stuff, went through and kind of cleaned up a little bit. I laid out my little heat mats that I have. I also got these off Amazon, so if anyone's interested in getting a few heat mats for a decent price, they are Seed Factor is the brand. It's actually a 2-pack, which I thought was actually really nice. I think 2-pack for like 20 bucks or something like that. So, and I got 2 of these, so I got 4 set up, which is really nice. And it's a 10 by 20. So it actually covers a whole seedling tray really nicely. It actually is a little bit bigger, which I thought was a really good plus. So that's what I'm going to be using to kind of start germinating some of my seeds and stuff like that. But for my seeds, last night my father-in-law and I sat down and went through all our seeds. I have this huge tote full of seeds. This is what I use to keep them all organized. Otherwise, it would just be a total mess and unorganized, and I wouldn't know what's what. So I got this. It's really nice container here. It's a nice like briefcase style, and it's nice and clear, so I can see, you know, if anything's gotten into it or anything like that. I don't know. I can just see what's all in here, which is nice. It actually latches on pretty solid, which is cool. And it comes with these individual cases, so like I can have my certain types of seeds in each case, and they're all protected individually and organized nicely. I even have little labels on everything. which is really nice. It has 16 total, so that's pretty neat. I actually got this off Amazon as well, so if anyone is interested in maybe going through their seeds and organizing them, especially this time of year when you bring all the seeds out and stuff and sort through what you want to grow and stuff, definitely highly recommend investing in one of these. I'll leave another, I have a Amazon affiliate link for this as well, and I'll leave that in the description for you. But yeah, it's really sturdy, honestly. Like, it's hard for me to unclip it sometimes, so that's kind of nice. That way I know it's not just going to pop open. But, so yeah, we went through all our seeds last night, figured out which varieties of stuff that we were going to grow. Last year, I have a video, I can bubble that up for you guys too. But we went through a lot of our seeds and stuff, and we grew a lot. I think we were really ambitious. We were really excited to have, you know, our first year here, such a large garden. We just wanted to just grow anything and everything we possibly could. I'll be the first to admit it. We were extremely ambitious, and but on the other side, we did pretty well. I think we did pretty well. We handled it good. We got a good yield on a lot of stuff, so I thought that was pretty neat. We didn't fall super hard on our face, but yeah, definitely we are toning it down a little bit this year. We're still growing a lot of different varieties of things, but just not as much of it. A lot of our yield came from tomatoes, and we had probably like 10 or 20 different varieties, and we had probably like 4 plants of each variety, so that's a lot. So this year we really toned it down to probably, I think, 5 or 6 varieties and only 1 or 2 plants of each. So we'll definitely still get a good amount of stuff. We just won't have as much space taken up from that. So that'll be nice. So yeah, we really went through everything, really discussed what we wanted to grow, what we wanted to do with what we are planning on growing, fresh eating, how much we want to preserve. It's hard for us to really gauge how much to grow, like how much we should grow for a year's worth. We still have a lot of produce from last, I can't say fresh produce from last year, but a lot of stuff that I canned up, a lot of stuff that I froze. So we haven't really like gone through it all completely, but then again, we have supplemented it with some store-bought items and things like that. So there is that balance. So it's really hard to gauge how much to truly grow, to fully live on what we grow for a whole year. So sorry, the heater's gonna kick on. Sorry about that. But anyway, so yeah, we had to really sit down and think about how much we were going to grow, and also balance out the amount of grow space that we have in our yard. So, and this year I do intend on expanding some of that with some raised garden beds, and really optimize our container planting as well. So that's kind of part of our game plan. I'll kind of get more into that when I discuss more of our game plan. So anyway, yes, definitely check this seed organizer out. It's really helped me significantly. I've had all my seeds in just a big like shoebox before, and it was just super hard to organize. Seeds were falling out everywhere. So this really keeps my head on straight. So I'll leave the link for this down in the description as well for you guys if you are interested. So there's that. And then most importantly, I think, besides our seeds, is what we're going to grow our seeds in. And this year, I am going to continue to use primarily seedling trays. They actually worked out really, really well. They're a nice light plastic material, but they haven't broken or cracked or anything like that at all. And I'm really impressed with them. The plants even came out easily when it came to planting everything out in the yard and stuff. So I'm going to go for it and use some more of these this year. They actually come, which is really neat, they come with the bottom part, the drip tray, so you can bottom water instead of watering from the top. So just fill this part with water, put your seedlings inside this tray, and they'll absorb all that moisture from the bottom up, which helps with good root health and root growth. So which I thought was really neat, because I've seen a lot where it's just the tray itself and then you get a big old mess, especially when it comes to having a nice setup like this. And then it also comes with these clear tops as well, to create like a little greenhouse effect. So obviously there's a bunch stacked in here, but you get your clear top as well, and it goes right over your setup, keeps that humidity and heat in there too. So awesome. So you've got your 3-piece set, super efficient, I think. It's really nice to work with, really easy to work with. And it comes with multiple sizes. Like I said before, you have your larger cell sizes for, you know, like tomatoes and peppers and such. And then you can have your smaller cell sizes for, you know, if you got little flowers, your onion starts, things like that. So I find these both very useful and beneficial and very durable. Like I said before, a whole year's worth of use, inside and out, and they're still pretty solid. No ripping, nothing's cracked or broken at all, which I thought was pretty impressive, because I know after I've used like some of those little 4-tray pots from like this plant store, you know, you get your greenhouse plant, you just want to reuse it, and like the next year it just falls apart once you go to use it. Or even that year when you take the plant out, it starts just to break apart. So these are really good, I think. And actually, this is from a company called Garden. I discovered them through Amazon. That's where I purchased these specifically. And actually, I also purchased some potato grow bags. I did a whole video on those too, so go check those out. I really love my potato grow bags. I actually want to get more. But besides the point, the company Garden, I actually reached out to tell them how much I really liked their product, and we decided to start a sponsorship, and they sent me a couple products for me to try out. So I'm gonna review those with you guys in about a month or so. These are kind of outside products. There's still some snow yet, so stay tuned for all that, because I'm really excited. I'm really eager to try these out, because I think it'll really help us growing not only our produce, but our partnership with this company. Like I said, it's a really good company. I like the stuff that they produce, that they make and they sell. They have really good prices, really good materials, and also really good deals. Right now I have a discount code, so if anyone is interested in any of their products, any of these that I'm showing you today, you can get 10% off clicking my link down below, or you could use the 10% off code ZEN24. But you can also get free shipping with orders over $12, which that's amazing in my mind compared to most places. So definitely go check them out. I highly, highly recommend it. But again, so Garden, go check this out. This is what I'm going to be using this year. I'm super excited to start my seeds, and I'm super excited to plant my seeds out in what they sent me. So stay tuned for that. But anyways, so that's pretty much it as far as my supplies that I'm going to be using for growing. Pretty much everything here. Like I said, I ordered some more lights, so those are going to be coming here shortly. Really excited about those. But yeah, as far as that goes, I still do need to get potting mix. So that's the one thing I don't have quite yet. And I'm still looking into a good quality mix. I like the stuff that I used last season. Again, I have that in our seed starting video from last year, so you guys can kind of go look back into that, see what we kind of did this year versus what we're doing, or see what we did last year versus what we're doing this year. So, but yeah, I still need to get the potting mix and whatnot for all the little seedling starts. But otherwise, as far as everything else, we're ready to go. We got all our seeds planned out, what we're going to grow, how much of what we're going to grow. But then the next step that I thought would be really interesting, well, not interesting, but very important to do kind of right away, is to plan out as best as I could where things are going to be planted in the yard this year. So, because last year I kind of just had a mental idea. Nothing was written down, you know, visually planned out or anything like that. It was just kind of tossed up in the air, and I just kind of hoped for the best, see what stuck. And I mean, I did okay, but my spacing was way off. things were way too crowded in the garden. Certain things were overshadowed by other things, so my heights were a little off as well as far as that goes, plant heights, and again, just mainly overcrowding. So this year I'm really trying to space things out a little bit more and really try and take advantage of container planting. Last year we did a lot of container plantings. I had a lot of things in pots, and a lot of things actually grew pretty well in the pots, so I'm going to just kind of stick with that, stick with what works. I took note of what varieties did well in the pots, so I think I'm going to just kind of keep that going, and it'll save room inside the garden for what, you know, isn't as container friendly. So what I essentially did was I just kind of drew like a sky printout of our house, just of our yard and stuff, the garden, like the whole area essentially of where things are going to be planted, you know, not just the specific garden, but the whole yard, because things will be spread out. And I did like a kind of sky view, had things labeled, and then in like the certain areas where things will be planted, just did a little bubble to mark down, like, this is what's going to be over here, this is what's going to be in the garden, and then this is what's going to be over in this section. I even have a little note for what I intend on put in containers themselves. So I have a little section for what I'm going to put in pots and planters and things like that. So that way it kind of helps me organize what's what, and especially when it comes time to planting things out there, because from now to then, I might change my plan, or I might, if I don't write it down, I might forget what I initially thought would work, or what I thought would work might not initially work. So, or you just kind of get so caught up in the fact that you got to plant everything that you lose track of what's going where and whatnot. So anyway, this helps me kind of keep things in order. And then I also went a little step further as far as the garden goes, and I drew like a zoomed in version of the garden and kind of mapped out like my pathway, and I divided it up into little like sections or quadrants, and roughly did like little bubbles, like little sections as to what's gonna go where. So like I'm gonna have some corn over here, have some corn over here, because this is the back of the garden, so that can grow nice and tall. And then up here, that's going to be like the front of the garden, so this will be onions up front here because they don't grow as tall and they won't get shaded out by anything else. So trying to like map things out as far as spacing, but as far as also as height goes too, because I don't want things to get overshadowed by other things like last year. So. And I also have a couple of new raised beds coming in this year, so that'll help also provide more grow space, so everything's not just congested in the garden. I can kind of spread things out a little bit. That might not work well in a container or a pot per se, but can still grow in a raised bed. So trying to utilize my space and just try to be as strategic as I can be, especially basing off of last year's results. Because it was our first year last year, growing at such a large scale and having the layout that we do have. So just trying to be as efficient and as strategic as I possibly can. I'm sure anyone understands that. But, so yeah, that's pretty much it as far as our game plan goes. As location-wise, where things are going to go, what we're going to plant, what we're going to, how we're going to start it indoors and stuff like that. And that was another thing that took some time, was to go through the planting dates as far as what's going to get planted indoors, when they should get planted indoors. So I had to look through all the seedling packets of everything that we wanted to grow. And they typically have a section that says, you know, sow indoors or plant indoors so many weeks before your last frost. So I had to, what I did is I went on Google and I Googled on the Farmer's Almanac my location and found the average last frost date for our area, and it was in mid-May. And I'm just using that as a general guideline because one, we haven't been here long enough to really have a steady record of when the average last frost would come and go. And I can't necessarily compare this year to last year because this winter this year has been significantly more mild than the winter last year. Last year we got so much more precipitation, we got a lot of rain that froze into ice, and then we got snow on top of that. We got that so much last year, and this year we've had probably just a handful of snowfalls, and it's currently like springtime right now, so it's very mild. So this average last frost date could vary by a week or so, and then that's just me in my observations from my area. Everyone's a little bit different, and everyone knows different things than I do. Of course, some people are more experienced, but I digress. So anyway, I just Googled my average last frost date. It gave me, I believe it was May 20th, so mid-May. And then on my seedling packets, so for example, I believe it was cucumbers is like 3 to 4 weeks before your last frost date. So for me, May 20th, and then I just counted 4 weeks back. So it'd be, about a month, so April 20th or so, So that's when you would start them indoors, and then when your soil is warm enough and workable, then that's when you bring your babies outside. But before you plant them straight down into the soil, you want to harden them off. So that's where you bring them outside for a little bit in their trays, let them kind of hang out outside for a little bit, couple hours, bring them back in, kind of do that for a couple days. That way they can just adjust to the outside temperatures. But that's just a planting tip for you, I guess. I kind of went on a little ramble there, sorry. But yes, that's essentially what I did to kind of gear up for this year's grow season. I'm really excited for it. I have a lot of big plans. Like I said, been just kind of expanding our grow space, not our garden per se, but our grow space. I have a couple more raised bed ideas in mind that I want to build, not just for growing produce, but for flowers and stuff like that, for our pollinators. I think that'll be great to implement more of that in the area because we really don't have a lot of that going on around here. I'd like to get some wildflowers planted, things like that. So that'll be exciting. And yeah, just definitely really focus on producing more. And that doesn't necessarily mean growing more, but I just want to be able to produce more. That way I can preserve more. I really enjoy that, being able to not only have the fresh, healthy food from our yard to eat fresh, but also to be able to not have it go to waste and put it up on the shelf, or be able to preserve it and freeze it or dehydrate it, so on and so forth. Because that's why we moved up here. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm really excited for it. 2024, I hope this year's a more organized, more smooth of a year. Because last year it was fun, it was a blast, it was just, there were moments of just overwhelming chaos because of just the volume of everything that I decided to bite off. But this year I'm gonna kind of ease up a little bit and kind of stick with what works, try new systems out, and I actually want to implement a couple more systems. But that's kind of an offshoot from the garden itself. So we'll get more into that as it gets warmer out. And again, like I said, stay tuned for my upcoming review on the Guards End products that they sent me, because I'm really excited for a sponsorship. Really excited to offer you guys a great opportunity in this deal as well. Like I said, I have a 10% off discount code, Zen24. If you go on their website, get 10% off. I'll leave that in the description. Leave my affiliate link down there too. I even have the link for the grow lights down there and the heat pads as well. I believe that is everything. Oh, and the seed organizer as well. But so yeah, stay tuned for that. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I'm trying to think. I feel like I missed something or I forgot to say something. But I think that is pretty much it. So yes, I hope you guys like this video. I hope everyone is gearing up for their growing season. Let me know what you guys plan on growing. Anything fun, crazy, anything new you guys haven't grown before yet. please let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on our gardening fun this season, and so you don't miss out on my new review coming up. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope everyone has a great growing season. Bye everyone.